Considering where we are today, I think we've made huge gains in the sense that the public is much more aware of people with disabilities as being people first. We still have a long ways to come, but they don't see them as just somebody to be shut away in an institution or that we put everybody into nursing homes. We have much more choice, I think, than we had 40 years ago. And I think part of that is because we've had legislation, we've had Medicaid dollars, we've had all kinds of other options that have helped us to look at what are the other creative ways that we can provide for people support and education. How can we support the school systems? How can we support the people in our communities, in our churches, in our recreation, in whatever? Because they all have people with disabilities in them. There's not one part of our society that is untouched by somebody that doesn't have a disability. Well, 40 years ago, okay, we didn't have the Medicaid resources available to us at that time. At least our family didn't, or we weren't aware of it. At any rate, when our son turned 18, we found out, because I had been in Partners, we found out that there were available Medicaid waivers that our state had, home and community-based waivers, and also the CADI waiver being part of that whole Medicaid assistance type of thing. And we found out that he could be moved from our home into a living situation for people with physical disabilities, and we could start that slow process of getting him more independent to becoming a functional member of society completely on his own. With interdependency, of course, help from everybody. He had help for transportation. He had help for home health care. He was at that time, he had to have 4 breathing treatments a day for chronic severe asthma. He had a hearing impairment, and he needed hearing aids, which we couldn't afford. And that was the first pair that we got paid for. And there were advantages as far as supporting him in the school system through Department of Vocational Rehab. We had all those things in place and slowly worked at trying to build his support system around him while he went to college. They opened up that whole door. And if we had listened to the people along the way, particularly the doctors at his birth, because he was stillborn, saying, you know, he's going to be a vegetable, and at 2 years old, well, he's still going to be a vegetable, and then when he's 7 years old and he's still not talking, well, what do you expect him to do? And you know, if we had listened to that, instead of seeing in him what we knew was there and trying to pull it out, we would have left it there. But because we had people, and because we had resources, and then because when he got to be 18, we had more resources available and more people to build that network around him, he was able to go to school. He was able to graduate from mechanical engineering at the U with honors. He's been at IBM for 18 years as a mechanical engineer. He's given them patents galore. He's traveled to Taiwan for them. And he's done all this, carting a respiratory machine, walking with braces and leg braces and looking like he's drunk, but this is our walking person, our walking contributor to society, our person that has had a full life. He's been recreationally inclusive as well as people with and without disabilities, because I don't think that that's a very fine line. Everybody has something that they cannot do or they're going to have trouble with at some point in their life, and then they're all of a sudden going to realize, well, I got a disability too.